Effortless Love, the Joy of Giving. Arun Gandhi said that we are materially wealthy, but we are emotionally and morally bankrupt. And I think it's a good time to have dialogues about sometimes the importance of giving to others and not thinking so much about yourself, but what can you do for your fellow person, your fellow man. And so I brought back together two people that I think really demonstrate in their individual lives the importance of sharing and caring with others. So I brought back Mary, Darrough, and I want to thank you for being here.
Welcome.
You know, it's amazing the work you do with giving back for the Glam Up, and you folks did the Cancer Day of really shining and making everyone beautiful with their hair and their makeup. And you did 2 projects in October, and I was amazed at the work of giving. And then I also asked Laura Grace D'Angelo, who does not only her acting and modeling career, but she works with children with autism, and she gives back to the community in other ways. And I thought, what better time to talk about this? You know, we're materially wealthy, but morally bankrupt. I thought, wow, that's a strong statement. You know, so why do you think it's important, Mary, to give and to uplift others?
Oh, wow. The more you give, the more you will receive. And it's so effortless to help someone up if they're down. You know, why would you step over someone and they're down and you're up? It just doesn't make any sense. And if I can do anything to brighten someone's day, I'm going to best do it. Because if someone needs their bang trim and they don't have any money, and what's it going to hurt me to trim their bangs? You know, it's just so important to give, because the more you give, the more that you'll get back.
You had mentioned, what is it, you know, when you do these things? You said it's transforming. Talk a little bit about what you've experienced. And
to see a smile on someone's face when you help them, or it's so fulfilling on the inside. It just fills you up, and it carries you for months, just to know you made someone else's day, because you never know what someone is going through each and every day that they get up. And if you can just touch someone and make their day, it's so rewarding. And the breast cancer, the American Cancer Society, just being there and people coming in to support whoever, because we all can be struck by breast cancer. Matter of fact, you don't even know if a woman has breast cancer. So to be there to participate in that was just so rewarding. It's so many people just want someone to touch them, to show them how they can bring out their inner beauty. So it was really rewarding just doing that. And also I did the Susan G. Komen one at the Trinity Baptist Church. It was just beautiful. It's just, I can't even express how rewarding it is, and to just give back and to be a part of your community.
You know, I think one reason we all thought this was important is to have the reminders of what are our daily interactions with each other. And you brought up some really simple things that we can do during the day that you do.
Oh, yes, smiling. Just smiling at someone when you're walking by, which you could, sometimes it's a big reaction. You can tell, wow, because maybe someone goes home to a home where there's no smiling, or they're going home to an empty home, or they're coming from a very, you never know what someone's going through. So even just a smile is such an easy way to express some love.
Yeah.
Holding the door. And I come from the New York City region, where a lot of people are very busy, and they forget there's other people in the way. And coming to Hawaii and seeing the difference of how people treat each other, this is probably one of the biggest reasons why I've gravitated and started a life here. And when I do go home, I always say, I'm bringing some aloha. There's no aloha in Newark Airport. But you know, just smile. And it's not that people back home aren't just as nice. It's just everywhere and anywhere, there's always someone who needs a smile. And
I think it's really that basic of acknowledging the other person.
Yes.
And accepting that smile, that eye contact. You could impact someone just with acknowledging that they're there.
Or a hello in passing.
Yes.
Hi.
And
eye contact and just hello. Hello. Because people are not used to that, of someone looking at them and saying hello.
Or even taking for granted, even when you're at the store and the cashier says, have a great day, or do you need anything? She didn't have to say that.
Exactly.
You know, there's a lot of cashiers that are just in the bag and there you go. But, and then you acknowledge, wow, they took the time to say have a great day, and that could really help somebody. Or even, I mean, even growing up, I remember whenever there was a new kid in school, I always went up to them and I always made sure, hello, I'm Laura, if you need anything. Because just putting myself in their situation, just whatever you know what's right, you know if you do something, the outcome.
Yes.
So anytime you cross an opportunity to take a little bit more energy to make a big difference, jump on it. Because at the end of the day, you'll go home and go to sleep and feel more accomplished.
Yeah. And at peace.
And at peace.
Yeah. And knowing that you serve the universe up. Right. You took the time to, because we are very short of time, you know, and all we have is time. So just to do something quality with that time.
And it doesn't cost anything to share a smile.
Don't cost a dime. Not a penny.
And it's contagious. You
Yes,
smile
it
as someone else smiles, and everybody's smiling, but
Yes.
at least they're not crying, right?
Yes.
Well, unless it's a happy cry. You can have a happy cry. And, you know, and it's interesting how some of the guys shared with us that, you know, it is okay for a guy to cry.
Sure, yeah.
It's okay to express because, you know, and I think that's something I thought was important to talk about, that as a society, what have we taught young men to be hard and not to be compassionate and caring and open? And, you know, I think it's important that sometimes we need to reflect on that effortless love.
Yeah.
You know, what is the joy of giving? You know, so share a little bit. You said that you've done some events, and I want to learn a little more about, you work with autistic children.
Children with autism, yes. I work 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. If my day doesn't start at 2:30 in the afternoon, it starts at 9 and ends around 7:38. So very long 6-day work week. But even just talking about it, I'm just so happy. I have the blessing of working with families and being invited into someone's family, which is a very sacred, personal thing, and help and aid to these angels. I call them my angels. And I have no patience for people usually, but when it comes to these children, it's a full-time job to love. Some of them may not know their name, some of them may not understand the concept of time, but they understand when I do this, and they understand when I hug them, and they react to that. So that just shows how powerful love is. You know, when these children, my one patient last week finally got his R's right. He could never write the R's the correct way. And when he said, "Are you proud of me?" I started crying, because the position I'm put in to be able to hear a little kid say, "Are you proud of me?"
And these could be our future leaders. I mean, these are important. Helen Keller was amazing. And so the bigger point, I think, is acknowledging each person's human potential.
Exactly.
That with even their disabilities, they could be a genius in the next world leader. I mean, look at what Helen Keller, Stephen Hawking. So to me, to hear you tell that story of that simple thing he did, that R, that made you cry.
Because not because he got it right, but because he said, "Are you proud of me?" Knowing that he reflected on what I'm doing with him every day, and knew, like, you know, I'm driving an hour. These kids don't know I'm driving an hour to work, and I have a million things to do after, and I'm there for them. But just it being acknowledged, or even when I'm leaving the home and they're running, don't go, come back. I couldn't imagine what it's like having your own child or seeing them succeed in something, but knowing that I'm making like a difference in another family's life, I'm grateful. They feed me sometimes at night when I'm there late.
Yes.
I get to eat family dinners, but
Yeah.
it's just these children probably won't remember me 20 years, 30
Probably
years from now.
they will.
Oh, yes,
But
they will.
they
You had
will.
an impact on his life. You taught him how to make his R right.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
I had a lot of outside help growing up too, so it's like a circle.
Yeah.
All the camp counselors that stayed and babysat after summer camp that helped my mother, a single mom, out, and now I get to do it as a grown-up. It just
Giving
feels,
back.
yeah, it feels great, and I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine another way to spend I get to live in paradise and help as
Yes.
well. So I feel like I'm paying my dues to being so blessed to live
Yes.
in such a beautiful place.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
and you had said, and I think it's important, when we're talking about acknowledging each other's human potential, because I think when we as a society and as communities slow down and say, everyone has some human potential, everyone is contributing somehow or another, and when you can see their genius, because the kids have genius, and so when you nurture and bring that out, and I think that's the art of giving, like you do, is you've ignited, re-sparked. How does that feel to re-spark that life force in that person?
It feels great because I was at work yesterday and a lady saw me from outside and she had been looking for me. But anyway, she was so happy to see me, and she's never been to me, but she heard about me a few years back. She found me, but anyway, she had a little girl with her, and as they were leaving, the little girl ran and just hugged me to my knees. She never saw me before. It's joy, because something protruded on the outside for her to feel. She connected the love, the passion. Yeah, it feels wonderful. Yeah.
I think we live in really amazing times.
Yes, we are.
We have a lot of work to do,
Yeah.
but we've come a long way.
We've come a long way, and we don't know what's lying around the bend.
But if we exploit that energy and that love and hope for the best and do the best we can, I believe it all comes back full
Yes,
circle.
it does. Yes, it does.
No one's life is perfect. With anyone's life, it's always 2 steps forward, 3 steps back for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's how you get back up, or the people that guide you and hold you on the way. Like we said earlier, it's all full circle.
Yes.
I met your crew in New York for a reason, to come back months later and be able to meet you. Now I know where I'm getting my hair done.
Yes, thank you.
It's
great.
When you put out good, it really comes back.
Yes.
Even though we will always have things to deal with and stuff to overcome, but it strengthens us.
Yes, it does.
The angels are with us, I
Yes,
think.
they are.
With the holidays coming up and materially wealthy, that's what Arun Gandhi said, we're materially wealthy, but we're mortally bankrupt. Why is these times, Thanksgiving, Christmas, why is it even more important to slow down and think of new ways besides just buying the next present to give back to others?
I think we should apply that every day we get up. I don't think we should wait till that one day of the year to do that. So I really try not to get so caught up in just that one day. So one day you choose to be nice. I think you should wake up every day giving. Let every day be Thanksgiving, and count each and every day as joy.
Yes, and I think the holidays are what really make us reflect, because you sit there and think, there's tons of kids going to school, I'm going to get this, I want this. And there's some children that don't even know how to say they want something because they know they can't have it. So this is really a time of the year, instead of thinking about what you want, think about what some people have no perception or no experience of going downstairs and there even being a tree, or even
food,
or dinner to eat,
or a roof over their
head. So this is really the time to go to your local food drive, your local church, drop off those cans of food that are in your cupboard that you haven't touched since you bought them, and give to people that have no idea what it's like to experience what we're blessed to. So definitely, I encourage everybody, please go out and get to the food drives or volunteer maybe an hour or two, or when you do the spring cleaning, go, or even when you're eating out and you know you're not going to finish it, wrap it up anyway, and when you're walking down, give it to the homeless person you see on the street. I do that every time. My boyfriend always gets mad at me for ordering a big plate, but I always tell him, I'm not going to be the only one eating this. I'm going to meet someone on the street, and they're going to always.
I was sitting at work, and I saw a man going in the trash, and I'm thinking, there's food back there that we're probably going to throw away. And I went outside and told him to hold on. I got some food for you. So I went and gave him all that food that we wasn't going to eat. He was so happy. But he didn't have to go in the trash anymore. So I was happy that he didn't have to get, I was happy he was happy.
Exactly.
But yet, here he is, a simple person. Accepting what we're, and sometimes I think that's the message too, is we need to slow down and look and say, how much more do I really need? What more do I need?
And learning humility from the man accepting, because I have had some experiences where I did try to give some food to someone and I'm fine, I don't need it, very proud. But then when someone shows that humility of thank you for helping me, it really teaches you too to be more humble as well, because that's a lot of humility, accepting help
and it can be us.
One day, we're always in that situation. So not having too much ego that even if the person is the person on the street, that they're still a human being.
Exactly.
And who are we to look down upon them and think that their situation is worse than ours, because you never know.
And it doesn't matter if you're wearing a blue collar, white collar, pink collar. Everyone at one point of their life needs help. And you're going to ask for it. And there's going to be people more willing to help you, and there's going to be people less willing to ask for help. But we're all human, and society puts us in these brackets. Doctors and stockbrokers up here, and models up here, and normal. And if you do this and that, you're down here. No. We're all the same. Society mixes us up. At the end of the day, we're going to ask for help. We're going to hurt. We're going to feel compassion for someone. So just, like you said, cut the ego out, especially around the holidays, and just always be the best you can be. Like you said, there's nothing but time, and the time to improve yourself, and just whatever you're feeling that you don't want there anymore, if you just keep practicing love and keep giving, I think you'll overcome anything you're struggling with internally, right?
But you can't do it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself.
What do you think would be some good tips to tell someone that, because some people aren't good at interacting. How would you start that interaction? How would you in your day to just start to look differently at how you're talking and working with others? What are we missing?
I always try to show how genuine I am. Every time I speak, I want everyone to know I'm speaking straight from my heart. I'm not thinking about it. And sometimes I get in trouble for not thinking before I speak. But most of the time, I believe people recognize how genuine
you are.
Exactly. People recognize that. And that's whether you're going to ask for help, or you're going to ask for promotion, or you're going to ask for anything, as long as you show you're genuine. And I mean this, and listen to me. Anyone would listen. Anyone would be up to hear what you have to say. Instead of going back like the robot and practicing drop the note cards, whatever speech you prepared the night before, you get in front of that platform, whether it's a business meeting or a school classroom, and just speak from your heart. Speak from whatever has you there. And like right now, I'm just going from the heart, and that's what my advice is. Just be genuine. Because you can't fake that. You can't. And people can see that. People know when you're not.
Genuine.
Mary, how important is it for us to listen to our younger folk, to listen to the young adults?
Oh, it's very important, and we can learn a lot from them if we would listen. God, they're our future. And we need to teach them the way to go so that they can be the best that they can be. And it all starts at home, you know.
But what if they don't have, not everybody, you know, nowadays a lot of parents work more than one job, especially in Hawaii. We unfortunately pay some of the highest rents, mortgages, and so sometimes it is just the child parenting himself for several times, hours of the day. You know, so how do we as a community in our interactions, you know, whether it's at McDonald's, you know, how do we allow these young people to know they've got the confidence to grow up to be the Barack Obamas?
If they should cross our paths, and I do that, if a child crosses my path and I can offer words of encouragement, whenever I see a way, a door, a crack, I speak it to that child. If I was thinking that this morning when I saw 3 young boys, and I just thought, though, just the way they were interacting, I was just thinking to myself, now if they get out of control or be disrespectful, I would definitely say something to them. So any crack that you can see where you can connect with a young child, do it. They respect you for that, and they want to hear that, words of encouragement. Yeah.
I think a lot of giving, it takes a lot of strength sometimes.
Yes,
especially to make a big difference. One of the biggest accomplishments I think I've ever achieved, I was in Spain, and I was at a very popular touristy party scene for young people, and these 2 beautiful girls, they drank way too much, and they were just laying on the street. 18, the oldest, they had to be 18, 19. And I'm just watching all these people just walk over them, walk by them, and I'm sitting there like these 2 poor girls, someone's going to pick them up. And luckily enough, a group of guys came over, picked them up. Oh, we'll get you home, we'll take care of you. And I said to the crowd of people I was with, someone do something. And I was the only American there. And it's like, no, this is Spain, this is a different world, you mind your business. And I said, something's going to happen to these women. I went over to the crowd of men, and I said, oh, thank God you found my sister. I was looking all over for her. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Grabbed the girls fast, threw them in a cab, gave the taxi guy whatever. I don't even know how much money I gave him. I didn't know the currency. But I knew if I didn't do that, no one else would have. And those guys could have grabbed me, you know, or they could have retaliated. But I think because I had that in my heart, that's what protected me to protect those girls. So sometimes giving and helping people takes a lot of courage.
Yes, it does.
But the more courage you have, I think the more you will be protected to do so.
Yes.
So that's one thing I'll never forget. And I know those girls woke up that next morning and they don't know my name, but they remembered, thank God that girl came, because they might have never even woken up.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that's an important point. Do we at times say, oh, that's not my business, and turn our, you know, when you see the homeless person on the street,
It's not my problem.
Are we doing enough? Are women helping and being heard out there to help? You know, is Congress? Are we really looking at?
No, we're not doing enough. Yeah, and I could be guilty of that myself. You know, of really not doing enough. Just saying, oh, I don't want to get involved. Yeah.
Do we really have a America that's the home of the free and the brave?
At times, you know, we show we are a country, we are one, and it, you know, and it's sad. It takes tragedy for a lot of that to show sometimes. Yeah. I saw a beautiful picture on Facebook of Hurricane Katrina survivors holding up a big sign saying, "New Orleans loves you. Stay strong, New Jersey." You know, love is more powerful than weather. You know, just that right there shows that. But we could always do more of helping each other, and the whole, oh, it's none of my business, let me stay out. Of course, certain situations call for it, but in others, I feel like you know when it's time to get involved or it's time to speak up. But there will always be things that you can't prevent. Right. That experience can only teach another person.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I just really have enjoyed thinking about, you know, how can we treat each other better? How can we give more and be selfless, more selfless? You know, how can we do that? What would be for you in your future? What projects would you like to work on?
Currently, I would like to work on a fundraiser for Hurricane Sandy and what she's done back home where I'm from. I am involved this Thanksgiving in the St. By the Sea Church right on Kalakala Avenue, St. Augustine, and I will be there for Thanksgiving, giving out hot plates, and there for Christmas as well. So just that, and keep feeding the homeless people when I'm done with my restaurant. Yes. Giving just simple things and always smiling. Share your smile. That's my motto. Share your smile with the world.
Mary, what can we expect from you? What upcoming things? I know you just did the 2 great cancer, you know, the Glam Up, and the other one you did at St. Teresa's. What can we expect from you in the future?
That was at Trinity Baptist Church, Susan G. Coleman, and Heads Up. It was called Glam Up. I would like to feed the homeless. I've never did that. I want to do that this Thanksgiving.
Let's get together.
Yes.
We'll get together and do that.
I want to do that.
See?
So I will be feeding the homeless this Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yes. I've always wanted to do that. Yeah.
I think it's important. I think that we have to be more open as society to accept each other's frailties. Yes. That even when you're down and out, that
someone else always has it worse.
Yes.
And sometimes going to these food shelters opens your eyes and makes it real, because we turn away. We turn our heads every time we see a homeless person. We don't want to see that. But sometimes you have to really embrace and appreciate, wow, I
the
have a
blessings
blanket
that we have.
Yes. I'm complaining about my air conditioning on. Some people don't have a home, you know.
Yes.
Well, look at New York, East Coast, you know, no electricity for how long? So it's sometimes those simple things that we take for granted, and that's why I thought doing these shows were really important, just having that reflection on, you know, the blessings of what we have.
Yes.
You know. So I want to thank you both, and
thank you for having me.
hope you come back
Blessed
again.
We very, very lovely ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.